Ahem. Ooh, I'm peeking a little bit too much. Hello everybody. The music's already pretty quiet. I recently did some changes to my audio setup. I'm hoping that this is a little bit louder. I want to make sure that my voice does come through compared to the game audio when I'm playing video games, but let me know if this is too much. Let's go ahead and hello. Hi. Today, we're going to be doing something pretty fun. At least I hope it'll be fun. We are going to be ranking. Ah, hi Vanilla. Hello. We're going to be going through, and we're going to be making a tier list. A tier list based around every single Pokemon, but if they had a gun. When is Gunbreon? Gen 3? 3. So, later in the stream. Gonna be a little bit. But, Gun Eevee. Wrong? What? Gunbreon... Yeah! Fuck! Gumbreon now, I guess. Well, guns are evil, so Dark type have a... Oh, they're Gen 2. Oh, I'm stupid then. Gen 3 had no evolutions then? Because it's, the three, types, fire, ice, electric, fire, water, electric, Umbreon, Espeon. Gen 3 had nothing, and then Glaceon and Leafeon, and then Sylveon. And those are all the evolutions. Evolutions. 7.8 out of 10, no new evolutions. Vaporeon's still here, though. da, 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 da. I was watching a video earlier, and it was the folks over at Wildcard just trying to name all the Gen 1 Pokemon. And it was really funny how many they missed. Like, I don't know if I could do much better, which made me think that maybe I should start with, Hard to Compete with Perfection? I mean, you can always make new evolutions. Fighting type Eevee. Put up your dukes. Puncheon, exactly. Dragon type Eevee. Give it wings. Give it a snoot that snaps. Zang, ngang, ngang. You really want is Luncheon? Damn. It's a normal type, but it gets big like Snorlax because it eats a lot of food. And I know there's a market for that somewhere on the internet. Pog indeed. All right. Let's go ahead and snap on over. All right. I've got the tier list maker set up. I know some of that consumer base. Right? They're around. They have been known. Yeah, that looks good. That'll do. Okay. So, we've got a couple of different tier lists available. We've got, this is just my search. Gen 1, Gen 2. Oh, I didn't mess with the tiers yet. Gen 3 and Gen 4 up, ready to go for now. But that's already 400 Pokemon, nearly 500 Pokemon, so we're gonna chill, maybe. We're gonna start with Gen 1. We're gonna go in order, and we'll argue each case, but we're gonna go in order. Actually, give me just a second. I need to change how I do my hand tracking. There we go. It's just a small difference, but I like... Do I like this better? No, I don't. Come back. There we go. All right. So, we're going to go in order. We're going to argue each case as best we can. First off is Bulbasaur. Pokemon number 1. The classic. Now, Bulbasaur is a little guy, but he does have Vine Whip. We're gonna take all forms of Pokemon media into consideration here as best we can. Vine Whip has been shown to be very dexterous. So, like, wrapping around, like, an entire Pikachu and lifting it up. Just with one vine, and then 2 vines, it's a lot easier. So it's definitely able to hold a gun. And dexterous enough to fire it? Probably. I would say, and because it's Vine Whip, you get 2. I would say that puts the entire, I would say that puts Bulbasaur and Ivysaur at a solid A tier. Venusaur, though, can hold the gun steady, though. Maybe just one gun and 1 vine for trigger and hold, and the other vine for keeping it steady, like, you know, holding a rifle, you know. I think it can steady a gun. I I think probably Venusaur better than Bulbasaur, but we're not going to be doing too much of, like, tier placements, you know? But Venusaur is pretty tough to rank, because he's such a big guy. I feel like he's slow, you know? I feel like he would have a gun. I feel like... I don't know. I've never seen a Venusaur use Vine Whip. What are we thinking? Think Big Boy goes to B for Big Boy? I think that's a good for both of them, because they're so big. So large boys. Now, Charmander. Charmander's a little guy. He's a little guy, and his claws are not that long, right? What sort of firearms are we considering here? We're considering everything. If a Pokemon can and will use a bazooka, that's a gun. But, like, bog standard, we're gonna use, like, a Glock. Like, just a pistol. Like, we could go for a, like, you know, a revolver, if a Pokemon would use a revolver. But I feel like Charmander, his claws are so tiny, I don't know if they can successfully hold the grip of a gun and get the finger in the trigger hole, you know? I feel like Charmander would have a lot of difficulty with a gun. Any type of gun, really. I think Charmander with a gun would be pretty D tier. Not an F tier. It's not gonna, like... It could probably, you know, hold it in one hand and then, like, do the trigger with the other hand, but it'd be very bad at it. Charmander might have an easier time than Squirtle. Perhaps. I don't know. But we'll get there when we get there. Charmeleon's claws are longer and bigger hands. I think that makes it slightly easier to use a gun. Charmander's got fingers. Full-on fingers. Ready to use a weapon. Ready to be glocked up. Might be too big, honestly. But I think that just means better to use heavy weaponry. Heavy artillery. And Charizard is strong enough. Charizard learned Seismic Toss. Definitely strong enough to hold, like, a minigun. What if Mega Venusaur can use tons of vines and utilize an entire armory? The issue is, I don't see Mega Venusaur using Vine Whip. I haven't seen Mega Venusaur in decades. I think Charizard's an A tier. But I think the Venusaurs, they're, like... not enough information to rank higher than a B tier, you know? Probably good. Better than C tier, but, you know. Now, Mega Charizard X. I think he's got a trigger finger on him. I think Mega Charizard X, look at his fucking stance. He is ready. He's, like, decked out. He is, like, he's already loaded. We didn't even start giving him a gun yet, and he pulled out his own. He's strapped. I'm gonna put him in A tier, because I'm afraid. Mega Charizard Y, not so much. B tier. Mega Charizard Y is fancy, flying, chilling, in his lane, which is the sky, unbothered. Is not ready to use a gun. Mega Charizard X has shot people before. Alright, back to Squirtle. Squirtle's hands are so tiny, it's true. And Squirtle does not have any appendages necessary to, like, get in there. I mean, I guess the tail... There's... What if you attach artillery to Charizard Y's wings? Well, then that would be Blastoise, and that's not fair. I think that, like, in order for it to count as a gun, it has to be fired by the Pokemon. It can't be, like... associated artillery. Like, we're not going to put a cannon on Latios. Warplane? No, it's got to be a gun. It has to be able to be held. I think the only way that we're gonna get anything done, also, is by disqualifying basically all the birds. I remember hearing some Pokedex entries saying that Squirtle's tail is pretty prehensile, but in that case, I think it's still still a little bit tough to use a gun with that big of a tail. You know, I'm gonna put him in D tier with Charmander. Wartortle, it's got war in the name. It's got to be a little bit better. It's got bigger hands and bigger claws. It's got to be a little bit better. Now Blastoise, S tier. Already packing cannons. Give it another gun, and it will just have 3 guns. Like, it's already over. It's done. And like the fact that Blastoise has cannons means it's already a sharpshooter, right? Like it's aiming to hit people with gun. So give it another gun. It's like, oh, I know how to use this. Bang, 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 bang. Kitchen gun. Mega Blastoise X, just Mega Blastoise, is obviously even higher because it has a gun pointing in its face direction, so it's better. Oh, shit. I didn't even consider Caterpie. I didn't even consider what Caterpie would do with a gun. I think Caterpie's... No, Caterpie could get its tail into a trigger and maybe pull it, but, like, I think that puts it... Ow. Hi, Mothykins. Caterpie can't even pick up a gun. It's true, but I think it does... I'm not sure if I should put this at top of F or bottom of D, because it could maybe fire a gun, but no. If you can't aim it even a little bit, then you're an F tier. Sorry. Same with Metapod, obviously. Now, Butterfree. Butterfree's got hands. Butterfree's got hands. They're little tiny hands. They're little itty bitty. But I can definitely imagine a Butterfree just holding a gun in both hands and then, like, bang, and then also getting sent back, like, 30 feet. For some reason, I'm imagining Caterpie in the trolley problem. Yeah, it's Caterpie in the trolley problem, and it's 5 Metapods and 1 Butterfree on the other line, and you have to decide. Do you pull the lever and kill Butterfree to save 5 Metapods, which could potentially become Butterfree? And you're also a Caterpie. And also you can't actually pull the lever because you're just a caterpillar and the trolley's moving too fast. Yeah. Social experiments are a fuck. I'm gonna put Butterfree in C. Butterfly with a Glock. C, I'm tempted to put it up to B. Because, like, it would just be awesome. I can imagine the Glock in this sprite right now. Like, I don't think it'd be great. I think that if it shot one single bullet, it would, like, get sent back so far that it would Butterfree ran away after shooting you in the head. You blacked out. You did not wake up at the Pokemon Center. You wake up and you're like, Nurse Joy, and St. Peter says, no, sorry, son. I probably shouldn't bring up social thought experiments when we're still recovering from Zero Escape. Yeah. The Zero Escape trolley problem would be, you're in the past, and you know that in the future there will be a trolley, and your options are kill Akane Kurashiki, or... blow up all 18 antimatter reactors on the planet. Fucking whatever. It's not even that the trolley's gonna kill people, it's just that there will be a trolley. Thank you for the Shinx attack. I love Shinx! Can't wait to get to Shinx and put him in S tier just from bias. Okay. So, Weedle. I want to say that tail, that sharp tail, is better than Caterpie sharp tail for pulling a trigger. On board with Butterfree logic, though, yeah, like, the ranking is completely subjective. If it will be funny for that Pokemon to have a gun, it will have a gun, and it will be able to use it. But we have to take in a little bit of logic. Just a little bit. Just on occasion. Kakuna, F tier. Beedrill. Beedrill also does not have, like, hands. Beedrill cannot shoot a gun. Mega Beedrill is even worse. Like, if I threw a gun to Beedrill, it would stab through it. And it would be like, what do you want me to do with this? And then it would throw it aside, and then it would go eat some flowers or something. I don't know. They prefer melee combat. It's true. Like, well, you know, Hidden Needle. They have their own guns. They don't need any extra guns. Which means that if you gave them a gun, it would just be unwieldy. Pidgey. Pidgey. I'm thinking about the comedy of a Pidgey using its wing like a hand and just holding a gun. You forgot Mega Pidgeot existed. Beedrill wants a gun. Beedrill wants his cannon, his arm needles to have more gunpowder in them. But it's not gonna happen. Pin Missile. It's so true. So true, Pin Missile. I think I have to put Pidgey in D tier. If it could fire a gun, it would not be very good at it. A lot of delay? Damn. The delay is not set to... I don't have a delay set, which is good. I used to have a stream delay. Where was it? Where is that setting anyways? Oh yeah, there it is. But it's still not enabled. So I would recommend refreshing if possible, but it might also just be long time internet. I was suggesting Pidgey would hold the gun in its talons. I don't know exactly where Pidgey would hold the gun. I think my instincts say I want to see Pidgey holding a gun in its wings. Like how Chatot will sometimes point with its wing, and it will like curl in its feathers as if they're fingers, which isn't how birds work, but it might be how Pokemon work. But since it's so, like, flimsy, I'm going to put it in D tier. Now, Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto's a little, like... I feel like Pidgeotto, like, I mean, like, birds with good vision, I feel like would be the app as hell. Oh, damn. I hate apps. All my homies hate apps. Pidgeotto is, like, ready to shoot a gun. It's not how birds work, but turtles don't have cannons either. So true. I think Pidgeotto could and would fire a gun. I think it's better than Pidgey at guns. Pidgeot is the same as Pidgeotto, just bigger. So, now Mega Pidgeotto. Mega Pidgeot. Mega Pidgeot? Mega Pidgeotto? Pidgeot, right. High D or low C, maybe? Yeah, I'm going to put them in C just because I think it'd be good to have a bird with a gun. Mega Pidgeot, though, like, it only has its talons. Like, it's one of those birds that's always flying, you know? It's always wings out. I think that limits it. I think that makes it more limited. I think I'm going to put it down back with Pidgey. I think Mega Pidgeot can't use a gun, but Pidgeot can. Now, Rattata with a gun. You give a rat a gun, that's A tier. That's amazing. Rats have little tiny hands, but they have hands. And Rattata does stand up on its hind legs on occasion. Not frequently, but it does. I can imagine a Rattata grabbing the gun, pulling it up to its mouth, using its big front teeth to pull back the hammer, and then bang! For a revolver-type gun. Using its big teeth to slide the Glock. Bang. I put Rattata in B because Alolan Rattata would be A. It is not an evil rat. That's true. But I think they can both be an A, or maybe when we get to Alolan Rattata, it goes into S tier. Maybe. We'll see. Raticate? Raticate does stand up more, but, like, its arms are further apart. I don't know if it can hold a gun, you know? Alolan Rattata spend more time on two legs. That's true. That's very true. Yeah, it is probably a little bit more uncoordinated. You're right. I'll put it in B tier. I'll put Raticate in C tier because he's too chonky. That's my rationale. Spearow, you're just a little guy. Fearow, you don't have hands. Ekans with a gun. Ekans with a gun. It could coil around the gun and then use its tail to pull the trigger. And it could use its head to aim. Just bite it. It strikes me as more feral. Yeah, no, it's definitely... This art especially. I'm thinking about my Raticate in Pokemon Sleep. And it could use a gun, maybe. But, this Raticate, no. Ekans, though. Ekans... I think would be... It'd be a tough gun user to use. I think it would just have to be like a turret, because it can't really move while it's coiled around the gun and trying to shoot it. But I think it would be a C tier. I think it can use a gun. Arbok, though, can't. You have no hands. While you can coil, you're just not long enough. You're not long and thin enough. No, Arbok could use a sniper rifle? No way. No way. A sniper rifle on a tripod, but in that case, anything that could get a finger into the trigger hole could also use a sniper rifle. I disagree hard on Arbok. This guy, a lot bigger and longer, though? Yeah, but, that means that it's not as dexterous. It can't get into the fine details of a gun. Doesn't have the rattle on the end, either? Yeah, the rattle on the end is what makes it, you get in there and you get locked in with the rattle. You knock the gun. I don't know why I said that. Anyways. But yeah, I just think that it's a little bit too big. A little bit unwieldy for a gun user. And I think there's a type of gun that an Arbok could reasonably aim, hold, fire, any of that. Now, Pikachu with a gun is S tier, because Pikachu has been shown to do, anything. You give Pikachu any sort of machine, and Pikachu can know how to use it. That's what makes Ash's Pikachu so special. Pikachu and Raichu can absolutely use guns, it's true. Raichu has no fingers? Well, you don't need fingers to fire a gun, you just need to put your paw in the thing and pull back. Have we seen Raichu hold stuff in the anime? In anything, really? I don't know. Because we don't really see that many Raichu. Which is unfortunate. It's a travesty, really. But Cantonian Raichu. How much can you hold? It can hold stuff? Okay. If it can hold stuff in one paw, then the other paw can be used to pull the trigger, and I think that makes it... Maybe... No, it would go with Pikachu, just because it'd be great to see a Raichu with a gun. That's the rationale. Aw, Sandshrews just a little guy. If we gave him a gun... I think Sandshrew with a gun would be pretty good. I think Sandshrew with a gun would be A tier. Because look at him, he's so little. You give him a gun with those big ol' eyes, he's just like... Bang. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Burrows into the ground, pops up. Bang. Any Pokemon that can use Dig and then fire a gun, pretty good. But Sandslash, though, those claws would make it pretty difficult to fire a gun. You could still do it, but it'd be hard to hold and aim. I think the 3 criteria, like, there are 4 criteria that we're going for. Would it be funny? Can it hold the gun? Can it aim the gun? And can it fire the gun? And Sandslash would be a little bit unwieldy, so I think that puts it down to B tier. Would Chantry keep its gun in a holster while using Dig? In its mouth? I guess hang. And then pop, ha, gang. I feel like giving Pokemon holsters is a little bit outside the scope, you know? If we deal with holsters, then a lot of birds are back in the running, and I don't want to deal with that. Fucking birds. I zap you with lightning. Yeah. Alright. Nidoran, you are a tiny little fucking rat. You cannot use a gun. You are F tier. Nidorino. You got hands. I'll give you that. Put you in C tier. I think it could hold a gun and fire it pretty well. Now, Nidoqueen. Did I get these genders wrong? Nidoran female, Nidorina, and Nidoqueen? I did. Fuck. Oh well. I misgendered Nidoqueen on accident. Now, Nidoqueen, she could hold 2 guns. She's allowed. I'll put her in A tier. I think she deserves it. She deserves weapons. You are the same rat, but purple. You're actually, well, this art makes you look like you're further on the ground. You're not as gun ready as Nidorino. You're too feral still. You're too ready to bite and use your horn. But Nidoking can absolutely get strapped. But for equality, for reparations, that's a bunny. I don't know what the Nidoran line is, any of them. Like, do bunny have horn? They're like rats. They're like bunny rat things with horns. I don't know what the Nidoran line is. Bunnies get guns? Gunnies? Gunny? Ganui? Nidoking gives Nidoqueen the gun. So true! Nidoqueen says, hold my flower, and Nidoking says, of course, babe, here's the Glock. So true. Thank you, Taze. Clefairy? Clefairy is so little, and its hands are so tiny. I think it's a C tier. I think it's a C tier gun wielder. I think it's D tier. It's too round. Too round. Can't hold one gun in both hands. Gun bunny. Clefairy can pilot a UFO. A UFO. But would the UFO would have its inbuilt weapon systems. But its little fingers can kill, but it's too round to hold a regular Glock weapon, like a gun. I think maybe a phaser rifle? The UFO has a control panel with a keyboard, I think. Yeah, but like using a keyboard requires a lot different dexterity than holding a gun and shooting it. Like, it's only got like 3 fingers. So, like, one hand is just dedicated to holding the gun. The other hand would be dedicated to firing it. But it's so wide. Can both of its hands reach something in the middle? Maybe. but it would also be really, really close to its face at that point. So if you shot the gun, it would just get, you know, powder burns on its face. It can fire a gun once, and then take massive recoil damage. Remember them stealing all kinds of items to repair their spaceship, which takes some amount of dexterity. Yeah, but, like, its arms are pretty... That's the big thing. Like, they're dexterous. They're able. They're willing. But specifically wielding a gun is such a very narrow set of skills that even creatures that can use tools, like a crow can use tools. A crow can't hold a gun. Clefable, though, bigger. Its hands are a lot stronger. I'll put it in C tier. For Clefable tier. I think that, like, just having slightly longer arms and more obviously dexterous hands in its sprite art are really swaying me for a higher tier rating. Now, Vulpix with a gun. Clefairy would love to shoot a gun on it. So true. Vulpix with a gun, it would not be very good at it. It would probably suck at shooting a gun, but it deserves to have a gun. It goes in S tier because Vulpix with a gun. Any objections? I hope not. Dun 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 dun. So true, thank you. Now, Ninetales with a gun, we're gonna go back to reality a little bit. Its Ninetales are not prehensile, right? Like, it can't control them. They're just flowing in the wind. They're just tails. They're not, like, they can't hold guns. I think Ninetales is just a fox with lots of tails, right? I think this is as valid as giving a regular dog a gun. You can definitely use flamethrower, yeah, but that's not a gun. That's not using a gun. I think that giving a dog a gun with regular paws that aren't, like, you know, they're not grippers. They have good aim, well, yeah, but, like, I have good aim with, like, looking at things, too. I can look at things real easy. I don't know if I can shoot a gun. I've got great aim in Overwatch 1. That does not mean you should trust me with a weapon. The aim functionality is less so, like, actual, like, sniper ability. Empty? I have no thoughts, it's true. But aim is more so, like, the ability to aim the gun where you want it to go, which is another measure of dexterity. Now, Jigglypuff with a gun. Kind of S tier. Like, Jigglypuff holds that microphone. How does Jigglypuff hold that microphone? We don't know, but it does. It's unknown. So, I put it that it has secret fairy powers that allow it to hold things. And if it has secret fairy powers that allow it to hold things, there's no reason for us to think that it has secret fairy powers that allows it to pull a trigger. There's no reason not to think that. Wigglytuff is also S tier. Jigglypuff would be unfazed by any recoil. It's true. There'd be absolutely zero recoil. Wigglytuff loves guns. Wigglytuff in his guild goes Yum-Ta, and then the walls spin around to reveal, like, a John Wick, like, arsenal. Wouldn't Clefairy have fairy powers too? No. Because we're done talking about Clefairy. Chatot goes, Guildmaster, how are we going to defend the guild from any, further threats in the future? And Wigglytuff goes, oh, silly Chatot, you don't think I've prepared? Yum-Ta! And then Chatot is like, "What? Why didn't you use that against Skuntank and his nasty, rotten crew?" And Wigglytuff says, "Lol, Lamau." Guildmaster Wigglytuff is the epitome of speak softly but carry a big stick. Like, weirdest fucking guy, gives everyone 3,000 chances to redeem themselves and become a good guy, but will kill you. A perfect apple. Speak Yumta and carry a perfect apple. Ooh, Golbat with a gun. Zubat and Golbat with a gun. Ooh. Now, Zubat, F tier. No hands. No tiny little antenna legs. And just a big ol' mouth. You can't use a gun at all. It'd be really funny if you could, but you can't. Golbat. I want to say its big-ass mouth could probably hold a gun. No hands, no eyes, no talent. Yeah, like the issue is that if Zubat was holding a gun in his mouth, it can't fucking see. If Golbat was holding a gun in its mouth, it could see. No, you're still F tier. Oddish with a gun, you have no hands. You have no, like, you're not shown in the anime to have Vine Whip capabilities. Then pull the trigger with its foot? Maybe. Well, I'll put it in D tier as a maybe. It's a maybe D tier. God. Oddish as an F tier because it has no hands. It is not shown to have Vine Whip dexterity in the anime as far as I can recall. So it's an F tier. Gloom. It's got one hand, and I think it does actually use Vine Whip, if I remember correctly. But it's so sleepy. It's so sleepy. Ooh, but if it uses Spore, and you go to sleep, and it has a gun... Ooh, or Stun Spore. That would be rough, because you'd just be paralyzed, you could still see. And Gloom just slowly walks up to you and goes, Gloom. I think that puts it in C tier. B tier. On the same tier as the Venusaurs. Yeah, no, that's good. Vileplume, he's just a little guy. He's just such a funny little guy. I'll put him in C tier. I think, like, having a gun would be really funny, but its arms are so far apart from each other, and... its vines, if it did Vine Whip, would have to come out of the, like, plant top and then come down and then, like, hold the gun. It would be kind of a pain. Kind of difficult to... kind of unwieldy. Paras with a gun. What those crab claws do. Imagining a firearm or other device that launches capsules of Stun Spore. A Stun Spore gun. Then another gun with actual bullets. So true. Like, just... It's a revolver, and they have the, those, like, cylindrical ammo reloady thingies that you just slide in one, and then you fire all the shots. Parasect wants the gun, saying this now. Paras doesn't, but the mushroom does. So true. I think that Paras's claws are not enough to use a gun, because it's just so little. Put Paras in D tier, because the mushroom will still try really, really hard to fire a gun. Parasect? Those claws are bigger. And their body is more in control. I would say that makes it a little bit better at using a gun than Paras. And more willing. Everything's ready. Venonat with a gun would be amazing. A tier. S tier. A tier? It's little hands. We'll keep it in A tier. No, it's compound eyes. Compound eye. Yeah, exactly. Right. Compound eyes, hands ready to shoot a gun, and it would be really funny for Venonat to have a gun. Easy S tier. Venonat, you have lost your hands. Your hands are not very good anymore. You still have good eye ability, so I'll put you in, no, your lack of hands is gonna really screw you. Iglet with a gun. You can't use it, but I'd love to see you, so you're going in D tier. Dugtrio with 3 guns. That makes it better. I don't see anything wrong with these rankings so far. I think these rankings are fantastic at the moment. Meowth with the gun? Fuck. That's S tier. Meowth with a gun, Pokemon ends after 1 episode. Meowth with a gun, like, it goes, Jesse, James, I know how to get that Pikachu. And James goes, what is it, Meowth? What devious plan have you concocted this time? And Jesse goes, it better not cost us too much money, because we need food to eat. And Meowth goes, don't worry, I know a guy. And then, like, Ash shows up later, they fall in a pitfall trap, and they're like, Team Rocket again? And then Meowth goes, yep, but actually it's just me this time. Die! And then, bang. We got the Pikachu! Meowth, what the fuck? Now, Persian loses a lot of its dexterity with its hands. Would it still be able to fire a gun? I think it would be difficult. I think it would be a C tier. I think it would want to fire a gun. I think it'd be funny if it had a gun. But I think it would be such a pain. We'll put it down in D tier. Yeah. Now, Psyduck. Oof. Woof. I don't want to think about Psyduck with a gun. Giovanni's Persian would absolutely know how to use a gun. It's true. Giovanni has the gun, not Persian. Yeah, exactly. Persian, whether or not it's any good or not is another question. Exactly. Like, Persian is connected. It has the knowledge, probably, because if Meowth is smart enough to learn English, then so's Persian smart enough to learn gun. But, like, knowing how to do something and doing it are different things. I think that Psyduck can use a gun, and I think, unfortunately, it's one bad headache away from getting its gun rights taken away forever, so I think that puts it in F tier. I think we don't give Psyduck a gun, like, on principle. Like, all Pokemon have the right to bear arms except Psyduck. I don't think I'm being too harsh here. I think we don't give Psyduck a gun. Now, Golduck. Golduck can have a gun. Pokemon with psychic powers can probably use guns even without hands. It's true. The main thing here is just Psyduck's, shall we say, mental stability. It failed the background check. You know what, let's just make a new... no. Make a new row for failed the background check. I don't think we're going to do that. I think it just goes in F tier because it... banned. Golduck... Ooh. How would webbed fingers work around a gun? Because they're webbed. Like, they're definitely dexterous enough to hold a gun, but they're webbed. That's an interesting... interesting thing to take into consideration. I think it would make it difficult. I think that would make it, but it's still possible. I think that makes it a C tier. Do Mankey and Primeape pass the background check? I think they're a little trigger happy. They're... I forget, actually. Does Primeape have, like, mitten hands or, like, full hands? Does... Primeape. No, it's just got mitten hands. That's right. Okay. So Mankey could use a gun. Because Mankey has, like, hands. Like, full dexterous fingers. I think I'll put it in A tier. Because, like, we put Mega Charizard X in A tier. And it definitely would be strutting the line on that background check. Mankey, like... Primeape's fucking pissed. I think Primeape would somehow still get his hands on a gun. And a really hard to use. But I think it would find a way. And I think that's terrifying. Sorry, I just need to pull up something real quick. Okay. Ooh, Arcanine with a gun. Growlithe and Arcanine. I think Growlithe's a funny little guy. I think it can't use a gun, but I think being a funny little guy puts it up to C tier. And let's put it in D tier. Arcanine, also D tier. This is like the dog tier. This is where dogs go. Like they should get guns, but I don't know if they can use them very well. Poliwhirl does not have hands or any way to fire a gun. F tier. Poliwhirl. Wait, I forget the Polly's names. Okay. Okay, Poliwag, Poliwhirl, Mittens make it like a little bit easier to use a gun. Poliwrath has full-on fingers. That makes it even easier to use a gun. Actually, like, a lot easier. The police dog should be higher. They are cop dogs, it's true. Yeah, they're around cops all the time. I think that Poliwrath being so fucking pissed and also having big ol', like, full fingers makes Poliwrath a B tier. Should it go A tier? Is Poliwrath an A tier gun user? Poliwag a C tier? No. No, it has to be the same as Mankey. Or Primeape, if it's just got gloves, but not, like, fingers. C for Cop Dog. But Poliwrath? I think Poliwrath is an A tier gun user. Poliwrath with a bazooka? Yeah, like, Poliwrath is strong enough to use heavy weaponry too. So a bazooka, a sniper rifle, really any sort of weapon. Like, the biggest thing would just be how big its fingers are, but I think that's still an A tier. I think Poliwrath finds a way. Poliwrath breaks the finger guard, you know? Okay. Abra? It's got tiny little hands, and it's got psychic powers. Would it use a gun, though? I don't think it would. I think it would it could, though. And it could teleport behind you. But I think it's just probably, like, it's too immature to wield a gun well. You know what I mean? Like, this is a little baby. Little babies can't use guns. C tier, because it's too baby. It's always asleep except for when it teleports and stuff. That's true. But I mean, think about it like this. You're asleep. and you like groggily wake up and you're like, oh no, there's a home intruder. Bang. You know? People keep guns with them when they sleep, and they still shoot them. Now, Kadabra. Kadabra is ready to shoot guns. Kadabra's got hands that are capable of holding spoons, and it's got psychic power, so it can read shots pretty well. You know, it's like, okay, you're gonna be there in 2 minutes. I'm gonna shoot there, and then 2 minutes later you'll get shot. Future sight shot. And doesn't it have that one move where it's like a little like a reticle that goes around and ting 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 cha-ching? Is that like identify or trace or something? I think Kadabra knows that move. It could shoot ghosts. Future sight? Lock on. It's lock on. Lock on is the move that I'm thinking of. It could use future sight too, and it would just future sight and be like, I foresaw an attack, and it's me shooting you in 2 turns. Foresight, maybe. Foresight too. Like, there's a bunch of different moves that it could be. Like, Kadabra has a lot of moves that can really assist with gun shooting. And it can shoot gun, like with its hands. Now, Alakazam is S tier. Because Alakazam is just the same as Kadabra. Kinesis to disable the target, so true. Now, Mega Alakazam is a super S tier because it can wield 5 guns at once without having to hold any of them. It can clear a horde battle in Pokemon. Just 1 shot each. Maybe more than 5? Imagine. Maybe less than 5. But it's still so unbelievably S tier just because of the idea of, like, it's Magneto using the X-Man take all the cops' guns and turn them around. Like, it's easy, and it does a lot of damage. Machamp is a little guy. He wouldn't want to use a gun. He would want to punch. But could he use a gun? Yes, absolutely. I think that puts him in B tier. Absolutely capable of using a gun, doesn't want to. Much more capable of using a gun because it's a lot bigger of a guy. Also, still just as unlikely to use one. But Machamp has 4 arms, so it can wield 4 guns. So that makes it S tier as well. I'm surprised there's not a Mega Machamp with 6 arms. Seems like it'd be a useful little thing. Having a bunch more arms. Spider Machamp, exactly. Dr. Machamp, Agonopus. Blah. Bellsprout with a gun? Oh shit. Oh shit. What those roots doing? They grabbing guns? They shooting guns? No, they're not, because they're too tiny and too weak. You're going in D tier, because I think he could shoot a gun. Roots and Vine Whips? I don't recall seeing a Bellsprout Vine Whip before. And if I do, it's usually just actually, doing the whip. It's not the Bulbasaur, completely dexterous vines. You know what I mean? I think there's a difference. I think that, but I do think it would be a D tier. Golem is going to be a downgrade. Probably, yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. Weepin' Bell, F tier. I'm sure you can use your vines to do vine stuff, but like it's a good 20 seconds? Damn! Rip to your internet, I guess. Rip to the Twitch.tv app. I think Weeping Bell is just too weird of a guy. Now, Victory Bell. I think Victory Bell's Vine Whips can do dexterous gun things. I don't think it's going to be great with them. But it's also kind of nasty looking guy. I think that's a B tier gun user. Tentacool with just 2 tentacles. I think that's still a B tier. I think Tentacruel with all the tentacles is S tier gun user. I think Tentacool just using 1 gun, but it can use it okay. But Tentacruel, evil, malicious, ready to use gun. Ready and willing and able with all the different tentacles. Geodude, 2 guns, A tier. Golem, 4 guns. A Graveler, 4 guns, S tier. Golem, A tier. So many guns, it's true. But for the Geodude line, I think this makes sense. None of them are not ready to use a gun, you know? I think they're all capable. Ponyta with a gun. That'd be really funny, but where? How? It wouldn't be able to. Put it in D tier, because I think it'd be funny. Rapidash, unless its unicorn horn gives it the ability to lift objects, I think that's it's less funny than Ponyta with a gun, so it is an F tier. Unfortunately. That is how the cookie crumbles. Also, I do want to say again, I recently did some changes to my audio filters, and I'm hoping that this is a little bit better. Let me know if there's any audio issues. I'm hoping that this will help my voice come through a little bit louder than the games that I play. I was rewatching some of the VODs, and it was a little bit screwy. Anywho, Slowpoke, F tier. It could use a gun. By the time it shot the gun, they would just leave. Voice sounds good? Thank you. I'm glad. Slowbro. I think Slowbro would be a little bit better at using a gun. Just slightly better. And I think Mega Slowbro, can't hold a gun. You know? The translator sounds good? So true. I took a screwdriver and I fixed the translator. Magnemite with a gun. Ooh. It can hold a gun by just magnetically attracting it to its magnet arms. It can fire a gun by adjusting the magnetic field to pull the trigger. Or just sparking the gunpowder with electricity directly. I don't think it would be good at shooting bullets out of the gun, though. Because it's a magnet. Anything that it does, anything that it shoots metal out with, would have to be curved because it goes through its own magnetic field. You know? Magnemite could power a railgun. Shotgun pellets? I guess, yeah, if they were plastic, if they were ceramic pellets, non-metal bullets. Or at least non-magnetic bullets, like lead. Actually, yeah, no, because lead isn't magnetic. So, yeah, no. Magnemite, great at using gun. A tier. A tier gun user. You can hold 2, you can shoot them off with electricity, and they just go. And those magnets can rotate completely 360 degrees around, and Magnemite can hover in the air and rotate 360 degrees in all axes of freedom. Could shoot anything. Yeah. Lead isn't magnetic. Yeah, exactly. We got there. Magneton, more magnets, more guns. Easy. All right, Magnemite and Magneton. A and S tier gun tier users exactly. God, this lag. It's. I'm sorry to hear that. You like this logic? It's good logic. We're thinking here. We're thinking Zero Escape made our brains smarter because we had to parse all that bullshit. I was talking to a friend about Zero Escape, and they were like, "Did you have fun?" And I was like, "No." Well, some of the puzzles were fun, and it's fun to keep up with a story so insane. Ooh, this is a bird that can hold a gun. This is a bird that can hold a motherfucking gun and pull the trigger. This is an A tier gun user, I think. Like you're playing Nest Duck Hunt, and then the duck grabs the gun and it shoots you instead. I think Farfetch'd, like, super capable of using a gun. And you know what? Its ability to, like, throw a leak, right? Like, that's what it does. It throws the leak. Like, I think would have good aim. It's a bird. Birds have good aim, usually. The duck hunts you? Exactly. I think that... Would it be an S tier gun user? It would be... it would be funny, but no. I'm gonna keep it in A tier. It would be a good gun user, though. Doduo, F tier. If it holds a gun, it would have to hold it in its mouth, and then it would be shooting a gun in its mouth. Like, holding a sword in your mouth is okay. Holding a gun in your mouth is wrong. Don't do it. Ever. Dodrio, same thing. Like, you don't have anything to hold the gun with. Go away. Seal? I'm gonna put you in D tier. I think a seal could slap a gun enough times that it eventually goes off due to just misfire or something, you know? Just bang. I feel like that's like it's not an F tier. It would at some point be able to use a gun. Child safety needs to be on. No, the seal slaps it off. Celio. I feel like Celio would just not be a slappy. I don't know. Wait, are those Pokemon's names? Dugong, right, God. I was thinking Celio and then was envisioning actual Celio in my mind, and I was like, wait a minute. They got Seal and Celio, and they're not in the same line? What the fuck? Pokemon, what are you doing? And the answer is, they're best. Now, this is easy. Grimer and Muck are F tier. They ruin guns they touch. You put a gun in a Muck's hand, it's gone. Like, not only can it not pull the trigger, but also its gunk gets into the gun, and it starts dissolving shit. Like, you're not gonna have a firing spring after, like, a minute. It's just not solid enough to hold gun, clearly. Like, absolute F tiers. Now, Shelder. It's just a tongue, you can't hold a gun. Cloyster, you're so Yonic, but you can't hold a gun. Ghastly also can't hold a gun. Haunter can hold guns. Holy shit, can Haunter hold guns. I want to... Maybe Haunter's S tier, actually. Like, we see Haunter in the show, like, disappear and reappear, right? Like, doing ghost shit with guns. And the hands are disconnected. They're Rayman hands. They can go anywhere. Like, I think Haunter's pretty busted with guns. Gengar does too. Gengar does ghost shit, but its hands are still connected to its body. it can melt into shadow and stuff. But, like, its hands are also a lot smaller. So, like, can it use a gun that well? Mega Gengar uses portals and stuff. We'll just rank Gengar right now. I think Gengar would be a B tier. I think it'd be hard to use a gun. But I think it would. Messed up creature for Mega Gengar. It's so true, but, like, Mega Gengar's hands, though. Like, do they exist? Is it sticking his hands into portals, or are those big mittens? I don't remember. Look it up. Mega Gengar. Images. I was thinking of G-Max Gengar. Hands go down, hands goes down. Don't see. I'd be getting mixed up with G-Max Gengar? Yeah. Oh no, okay, it does get hands, I think. Yeah, okay, those hands are just in the ground, because they're just ghosts shit. But they are hands and they can have fingers. Okay. I found a good image from somewhere. I don't fucking know. But it does look like the anime, so I'll just say that it's real. I'll put this in A tier then. Because it's a fucked up guy, and it's got hands, and it can shoot guns. Onyx, F tier. Cannot use guns. It would crush a gun. And even if a gun was big enough to not get crushed by Onyx, like, it would still not be possible to use it. Like, you're just a bunch of rocks. Sorry, Onyx. Hypno and Drowsy have been banned from using guns. So we're just gonna move past them. Absolutely fail the background check. They are registered. We cannot let them have guns. Krabby with a gun. Fuck. Krabby with a gun. I want to say Krabby with a gun is A tier. Like, I know it's not. I know that it's incorrect to put that there. But, like, it's a crab with a gun. I don't know what you want from me. I think that's great. I think a crab with a gun is amazing. I think Kingler with a gun is a little bit too wild. I think I'm gonna put him in B tier. Like that big ass claw, but that you're just gonna snap through the gun clean in two. I think Krabby's the perfect gun size Pokemon. You know. F tier. They both just explode whenever the gun goes off. Like the gun explodes, then they explode, and then don't worry about it. Fucking dudes. Look at these fucking dudes. Execute with a gun, that's just a bunch of eggs. Executor, no hands. It is psychic, but, like, crabs with guns are always A tier. Also, we just got to crab, so this is how bad the lag is. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I am moving a little bit fast, but I wanted to get through maybe 2 generations this stream. But considering how far we've come and how much more we have to do, maybe not. Maybe we'll just do Gen 1 today. Ooh. Execute and Executor use Psychic, but I think they're not gonna, like, I don't think they would use that to use a gun. I just don't think. They're not gun users. Now, Cubone with a gun, I think would be very sad. I think it could use a gun, but I don't think it would want to. I think it would hate it. I think it'd be trembling. I think it would suck. It's just a little guy. Don't make him shoot people. Now, Marowak with a gun. Marowak's ready. Marowak's ready to protect her little Cubone. It's got hands. A little bummed at not being able to interact. Yeah, it's unfortunate. itchy nose. What if there was a Twitch stream that was just instant and you could interact more? That would be better. I can't believe you, Twitch. You hurt me, Twitch. Yeah, I think Marowak. I think Marowak's A tier. It's got hands. It's ready to throw down. It's ready to shoot. It would have to put the bone down, but it could have bone in one hand, gun in the other. I think it's able. I think it's able. Ready and willing to shoot. Hitmonlee? As much as Hitmonlee would be able to use a gun, its hands are ready. Like, full-fingered, ready, dexterous hands, completely capable of holding guns. I think it's another Machamp situation. Where did I put Machamp? Here. Doesn't want to use guns. It's a kicking guy. Like it would just kick you. Hitmontop would be a tier below because mitten hands. Well, it would go with the mitten hands tier in D tier. It's not capable of holding and shooting gun because of its big mitts. Lickitung. Hitmonchan? Oh, did I say Hitmontop? I'm stupid. I don't know things. I don't know things. Like, I need to see all of them together in order to differentiate them. Thank you. I'm valid. Okay. Lickitung with a Lickigun. You do not have fingers. But, and also, your weird, gross tongue would probably gunk up a gun. I feel like I'm going to put Lickitung in F tier. And any objections on Lickitung in F tier? Like, it's just not a gun user. It's just like, no. Do not give this thing a gun. It'll just lick it and eat it and be done with it. Coughing and wheezing would just explode. You put Lickitung in D at best? Yeah, okay, well then it's not their best because it sucks. Coughing and wheezing, if a gun went off in their vicinity, it would ignite their gas and they would pop like a balloon. It'd pop like a balloon full of hydrogen gas. They would go down like the fucking Hindenburg. They are gone. These things cannot handle the ignition of gunpowder. They cannot fire or be near guns. You plant coughing underground underneath your enemy's war place so that when they shoot guns, they explode. Rhyhorn and Rhydon? Rhydon and Rhyhorn? This is Rhydon, right? Yeah, this is Rhydon. Okay, excellent. All right. Rhyhorn, no way to fire a gun. You are completely quadrupedal. You could only shoot someone's toes. I guess that puts you in D tier, actually. Rhyhorn, you can shoot. You can shoot good. I'm gonna put you in A tier with Nidoqueen. That makes sense. That feels right. God, there are 3 Gen Pokemon that just look exactly the fucking same. 3 Gen 1 Pokemon. And these are just guys. These are just, like, dinosaur things. Anyways. Oh! Chansey with a gun. What will she do? Nothing. She's just got nubs and kisses and healing eggs. I don't think she can use a gun. Yeah, I don't think she can use a gun. I'm gonna put her in F tier. Now Tangela can use many, many, many guns. I'm gonna put in A tier so that I can put Tangrowth. Oh, is Tangrowth a Gen 2 Pokemon? Damn, what the fuck? Egg Bomb? Like, here's the thing about Egg Bomb, is that that's not a gun. Like, you would just be throwing the gun over there. Tangrowth to Gen 4. Damn. Fuck me. I guess that makes sense as to why Tangela and Tangrowth were so important in, like, the Ranger games. Because they were Gen 4-ish. Shadows Gen 4 was Ranger 1. Ranger 1 was also Gen 4. Because it was... they're all Gen 4 because they're drawing on the touchscreen, which means they're DS era. Okay. Now, Kangaskhan, A tier. Can use guns. Ranger 1 was Gen 3. Okay. It was one of those, like, make a game on DS before we actually come out with the new generation. Right. It's like how Rescue Team was technically on DS. And there were some Gen 4 Pokemon there, I think. I think there were. I don't remember. Anyways. But Mega Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan's A tier. Mega Kangaskhan is S tier because of Parental Bond. You Parental Bond, and you now have 4 guns. And you can shoot twice, and then your kid shoots twice. Easy. An easy S tier. Seadra, you cannot shoot gun. Horsey and Seadra. There we go. I got the names right. And then Kingdra would be the next evolution that doesn't exist yet. So many Gen 1 Pokemon that don't have evolutions that I'm so expecting, because I'm not a Gen 1er. I'm too baby. I'm too little baby. Goldeen and Kingdra... Not Kingdra. Goldeen and Seaking. Again, you can't hold guns. You're just fucking fish. Staryu and Starmie. I'm gonna put more fish in F tier. Because, like, no, you can't hold a gun. You can't shoot a gun. You don't have the ability to. Mr. Mime, S tier. The issue with Mr. Mime is that he doesn't need the gun to shoot the gun. Ranger was released in Japan on March 23rd, 2006. I was mainly just saying which Pokemon were in Ranger. Because I was remembering... Shadows of Almia, which has a big section in the intro where you're at the Ranger School. And in the basement of the Ranger School, there are Tangrowth, I think. As a prank. Well, there's Bidoof, but that's also obviously Gen 4. I think Tangrowth also show up at other points, and they're important Pokemon for their field abilities. DP were September 2006. Got it. Okay. But yeah, so Ranger did not have any Gen 4 Pokemon in it. Tangrowth and Almia. Yeah. They were so important in Almia. Those fucking big-ass grass dudes. They just busted down. They busted in, they busted it down, and we had to become friends with them. But I think they were like the first controlled Pokemon to show up in that game. Ranger games are fun. There need to be more fun spin-off Pokemon games, like where they're just fun. Have they considered just making fun games for people to have fun with? Ranger games are so fun. I love the story of Shadows of Almia. Like this lore about the ancient prince and all that shit. Like, that was great. Anyways, Mr. Mime doesn't need a gun to use a gun, and therefore could use infinity guns. Like, it's Mr. Mime. First one was weakest entry and least polished, but it still had some cool things the other two games didn't do. Yeah, I don't think I ever finished Ranger 1. I played Shadows of Almia, Guardian Signs, and I wish that series wasn't dead forever. Yeah. Guardian Signs, first game to do, you are riding around on your bird in the sky. I think. Yeah. Because that was Guardian Signs and it was not Shadows of Almia. That one was just you use fly. But yeah, like Guardian Signs, the difficulty spike at the end is brutal. Yeah. Guardian Signs walked so that Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire could sprint with the aerial combat. That was before the heart gauges. Ooh. So you're just drawing circles. You need to know how much damage you were doing. You're just trying. You're just doing it as much as you could. And Shadows is better. Shadows is based, even. I love when they decide, like, okay, yeah, the first entry of this game sucked because we were focusing more on the a set number of circles without breaking your line. Oh, yeah, that's rough. I like when games decide that the first game kind of sucked, so game 2 is going to involve those characters showing up again to, like, just be there and be cool. All right. Oh, Scyther, you're really cool. You can't hold a gun with those fucking scythes. Sorry, buddy. Jinx, I don't want to talk about Jinx, but she does have hands, so I think she shoots gun. She shoots gun. Electabuzz and Magmortar. Magmar? Magmortar's the Gen 4 Evo. Right, so Electabuzz, you got hands, you got electricity. Supercharged bullets, A tier. I think these are just all A tier. Like, that, right, like, maybe Magmar would be worse because it's one of those Pokemon that has like a dex entry saying that its body temperature is like 4,000 degrees. It's got flame body, which means that if it came into like near gunpowder, that might spontaneously ignite. Magmar would also have a harder time using the gun with its claw hands. Yeah, that's true. I'll put it down to C tier then, just because I don't think, like, if the gunpowder does explode because of flame body, then like it could use a gun maybe once, and then it just explodes. I don't think it could reload, you know? Like, if it grabbed a clip, it would all go. I think I'll just put it in D tier just to give it something, but yeah. Pinsir. Ooh, Pinsir. You got hands, but they're real exoskeleton-y, you know? They're limited range of motion. Like, you're not going to be holding a gun in your Pinsirs. So, I'm going to put you in, like, B tier. It can hold a gun, but it's got Pinsirs. It'll pinch you. Mega Pinsir. I don't see any difference between your gun abilities as Mega Pinsir. Well, you're flying, so you could fly by. You're flying and you have hands. That's important. That's an important power that like, a lot of Pokemon don't have, is the ability to fly by with a gun. Tauros, you are a bull. You cannot hold a gun. You would rather hurt people anyways. Magikarp, you suck. Gyarados, you don't have hands. Mega Gyarados, you have even less hands somehow, despite the fact that your original form has 0 hands. Lapras with a gun, S tier. I know you can't hold a gun, but Lapras deserves a gun. Lapras deserves so many guns. Like, the flipper just wraps around and then it just shoots, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's cool. Lapras with a gun. Ditto is obviously S tier. It would turn into the gun, and then it would shoot. Obviously. Eevee, S tier. Give Eevee a gun, 2024. And then we'll go back to normal. Vaporeon will get the gun wet. So probably a D tier. EV hold juice, EV hold juice, EV hold gun. They're the same, effectively. Jolteon, I feel like Jolteon holds a gun. I feel like Jolteon's an A-tier gun user. Like, I know it would probably be held in mouth, and I know that I argued against that, because it would be dangerous to hold a gun in your mouth and fire it. Does one of Lapras's other forms have cannons? Gigantamax Lapras does not. Though it is a shame we don't have the Gigantamax forms here. Let me go find one. Gigantamax. Oh, I at some point did something like this. Yeah, it doesn't have cannons. It just has this big circle thing around it with the city on top of it. I don't think that's really a cannon. Okay, the only other like Cantonian G-Max forms are Lapras, Pikachu, Big Venusaur, Charizard, Blastoise, G-Max Blastoise, S tier, Butterfree. I feel like G-Max Butterfree doesn't have like the hands anymore. G-Max much. The issue with the G-Maxes too is that they're fucking big, so hard to gun. You know? Like, none of their hands would fit guns anymore. I'm gonna just put all the G-Maxes in a D tier. Just because they're fucking too big. Too big, too big, too big. And that's all the Cantonian G-Maxes. Everyone else is from later at some point. But yeah, would Flareon have a gun? Flareon's just a dog. Flareon's with Vaporeon is a dog. Dog tier. Porygon? Porygon with a gun. At least we have Pirate Lapras. Is that one of the holowares for Pokemon Unite? I don't know. Pirate Lapras. Let's look this up. Pirate Lapras. Images. I'm being recommended a Lapras from Pokemon Horizons that has like scars and shit and is real badass. Grab my pen. I love fiddling with a pen. Sounds cool. It's all right. Could be cooler. Could have an eye patch. Like, what if there was an eye patch? You know? All right. Porygon with a gun. I think that's an F tier. I think Porygon can't hold or use or fire or aim or anything a gun. That's Pirate Lapras? Okay, cool. I pulled up the right one. It is cool that she got that some of the scars are on her shell. Like there's a scar over the eye. It's pretty cool. But yeah, Ammonite and Amistar. Ammonite I want to put in D tier. I think it might be able to hold a gun with its tentacles and shoot it, but it would be like real close. But Amistar, its tentacles are much further away. I think that puts it into A tier. An A tier gun. Should it be S tier because it's got multiple tentacles? No, you're not as cool as Tentacruel. Kabuto, you could hold a gun underneath your shell, but like that would be dangerous. I'm gonna put you in F tier just because I don't think. Kabutops, like like these slicers can't get into a gun trigger, I don't think. Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl. Interesting proposition. It has hands on its wings. But since they're on its wings, if it wanted to fire, it would have to not be flying. So it would have to be standing still. And its big-ass head would probably get in the way of, like, good aiming. I think Aerodactyl would be a D tier. No, a C tier. It can use a gun, it would be very bad at it. Mega Aerodactyl, though, would be a D tier. All of its spikes make it, like, it doesn't have a hand anymore. Snorlax, I want to say A tier. I want to say A tier Snorlax. No, I can't say Snorlax would be better at using a gun than Nidoking and Nidoqueen. Or Nidoking. I think it's B tier. Respectable gun user. Articuno, no hands. Zapdos, no hands. Moltres explodes the gun and no hands. Dratini, no hands. Dragonair, no hands. Dragonite, S tier. You get a gun. Get a gun, can fly really fast, really overpowered Pokemon competitively. Like, it's a good, strong Pokemon. What about Wing Hands? Like, the issue is that we don't see Articuno enough to know if it has Wing Hands. Zapdos absolutely doesn't. They can't bend. That shit can't bend. Maybe Galarian, any of these Pokemon, but as they stand right now, I'm going to say no. Now, Mewtwo's an S tier. Psychic gun user with hands, able to hold guns, able to aim bullets with psychic powers. Galarian Articuno definitely could use a gun. Yeah, exactly. Mega Mewtwo X, I feel like could be even more of a gun user because it's a fighting psychic, I think. So like it's ready to throw hands and shoot gun, I would say. Mega Mewtwo Y, same thing really. Like all the Mewtwo's can just stay in S tier because they're just so strong. Mew's such a little guy. He can use a gun, but I'm not going to make him. He's allowed. Alright. So that's our Gen 1 Pokemon gun tier list. Dun 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 dun. Any objections to anything that we've put down here? Everything looks good. We know Mewtwo uses gun because Smash Bros. So true. That's also Pikachu also used gun. We know that. And there's no other Charizard, Ivysaur, and Squirtle. I guess Squirtle can use gun because in Smash Bros. That's true. Squirtle goes up to A tier. Because Squirtle does use gun in Smash Bros. And that is technically Pokemon media. It does count. Oh. Alright. Am I going to end stream on this one? This is really taxing, just by myself talking all about this. This is a pretty rough thing to stream. Definitely. Wouldn't say Squirtle's particularly good at it, though. I mean, you can use it. He can use it. And this isn't based on, like, rankings or anything. Like, Amistar is not worse than Squirtle using a gun. Yeah, we'll put him in B tier. Yeah, I feel like that makes sense. Able to use a gun, able to use it okay enough. Alright. Now, what to do? This is honestly pretty taxing, so I think I am gonna call the stream here. I'll keep you guys updated if I do anything tomorrow. I might stream more video game of some kind. I've been thinking about Shishingo. It's a new photography game where you can learn Japanese. There's also Shira and the Wanderer 6, which could be fun. Another Mystery Dungeon game. It wouldn't have Pokemon in it, though, and it wouldn't be an isekai. Never heard of that? It seems interesting. Oh, you have heard of that. It seems interesting. It does. It does. And I am planning a trip to go back to Japan. Yeah, Shiren? Fuck. Yeah, I'll gauge interest a little bit more in Discord and see what people want to see. But yeah, I'll keep everyone updated on what the schedule will be. Let's go find someone to raid. All right. Let's just hop on over to the Hangout screen so that I can do that without being a nuisance. Thank you for the Shinx attack. I love it when there's Shinx at my head. Alright. Alright, let's raid Bun. Let's go raid Bun. Let's say hi to Bun, everybody. Everybody. Alright. Let's get a raid message, if possible. If you're subscribed and you have access to the emote. More fun than I thought it would be, honestly. Yeah, like the thing is, talking about Pokemon is fun. It's such a fun, like, theoretical to go through. Like, it's so interesting debating, like, what a Pokemon can and cannot do in very specific niche areas. Like using a gun. Alright, here'll be the raid message if you can send it. Go ahead and keep it if you can, and we'll just say hi to Bun, and we'll hang out in their stream. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. I love Pokemon. Pokemon's so fun. I need to make a new like trainer design for Kalos. I need to draw myself as a Kalosian trainer again. Back to the days of X and Y. Now that Pokemon Legends Zac has been announced. Pokemon Legends Zac, Andromeda. All right. Bye, everybody. See you maybe tomorrow, maybe. Bye.